around.
Okay.
Why don't we start with, what did you tell the crowd here today at your talk? Let's start there.
Well, this seminar today was about closing their transaction. A lot of people, entrepreneurs, whatever the business is, they get into business and they disregard the fact that, look, at some point you're going to have to sell, negotiate, and close a transaction. And businesses fail because people don't close enough transactions fast enough at prices high enough. This is the number one. We wouldn't have to do all 10 if a guy could just get this one thing right. Whatever your business is, whatever you're planning to do, you have to understand this. Businesses fail because whatever the idea was, could have been a great idea, average idea, stellar idea. If you don't ring the register with enough volume and with prices that are high enough, your business is not going to be sustainable. So a company like Groupon that just went off the rails, crazy, they generated more revenue faster than any company. That's the kind of example you want to use. How fast can you generate revenue that will support your product or service?
Okay, so let's double click on that a bit, because it seems like companies tend to want to give stuff away to get those numbers up,
yeah.
Right? And you mentioned that, getting that price high enough. I mean, how do you make that trade-off?
Well, I think a lot of people take this easier, softer path of, I'm going to give my product away, and you're trying to do the Angry Birds phenomenon or the free giveaway, and I'm going to get enough traction in the marketplace like a Facebook or a LinkedIn, and then I'm going to go public. That's just not my deal. That's not what I can give advice on. Mm-hmm. I'm a guy that runs a business that has to generate revenue today. It has to generate, like I've started 3 businesses from scratch with no money, with just a concept, just an idea. They weren't giant, big Facebook ideas. They were mom and pop, 6 million businesses in America. I want to start a franchise, or I had an idea to basically introduce me, my brand, and a product to the marketplace. I need to generate revenue from day one. Lots of people try to do the 30-day free, the 3 days free, the 7-day free, the giveaway. I've never used it. It's like, look, here's the value, here's the proposition, this is what the product's going to do for you. I need money today. If you want it free today, that means you're going to want it free a week from now and 2 weeks from now. I'm not that guy. There's plenty of companies that'll offer free to you. I'm the wrong guy. It forces me then to sell my product and to generate revenue.
Okay, so say I got off on the wrong foot and I went with the free model, the freemium, or whatever we call it.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get back on track?
Yeah, throw it away. Say, hey, I'm done with the. This is that easier, softer way, is to go free. I had a guy write me yesterday. Nobody's taking me up on my 30-day. I said, because your 30-day free suggests that your product's no good.
Interesting.
Like, if you don't have that as an alternative and you have to sell your product in order to generate revenue, then you'll sell the product and generate revenue. You got to burn the ships, man. You got to commit, be all in, and then really come in. And that's what I was telling this audience today. Look, your price is not too high. People do not buy or not buy because of price. People buy things to solve problems, period. I don't buy a drill because I want a drill. I buy a drill because I want a hole, because I want to hang a piece of art. If you actually offer to me, rather than the drill, to come hang the art for me, that's what I would buy. You could get more money to come hang my art and leave a drill behind for free. You could get $300 for that, and you can only get like $78 for the drill. See, that's why I want people to think. Think bigger. Think about driving revenue. Think about something survival for you and your family, because in this economy, free does not pay hospitals, grocery stores, car payments. To fix the roof, you need money.
Sure. Now, your new book has the 10 ways to turn things around. What other hints do you have?
This is the 10X rule. It's not about the 10X rule. Basically takes the concept that whatever you think it's going to take, multiply everything times 10. Whatever I think it's going to take to get the right girl, mm-hmm. Everybody wildly underestimates. See, people set a target. They see something they want in life, and typically what happens, they see a target, mm-hmm. and they can't get it because it's too difficult, so they lower the target. And then that becomes too difficult, so they lower it again. This is what causes people to be dissatisfied. So, I operate, at about 30 years old, I decided, hey, I'm setting targets and I'm not compromising, because I had spent 20 years compromising. And the only thing that comes with compromise is just, mediocrity. So I'm like, I'm done compromising targets. So I'm gonna set a target, and then I'm gonna do 10 times what I think is necessary to achieve that target. So rather than me lowering or compromising, I just increase activity. 10X is about increasing activity until you get your target. Like the woman that I'm married to wouldn't go out with me for 13 months. So rather than lowering the target and going with another selection, which is what most guys do, and most girls do, frankly, what I did was I just increased my activity level to the point to where her friends were like, dude, you're stalking her. I'm like, it's not stalking if it works. If it works, it's family. You know?
So how much of this is the stick-to-itness that you demonstrated with that example? I mean, for these companies, I mean, you want them to set their goals high, but it's not going to come easy.
Yeah, well, I want them to set their goals high because the only way to stick to anything is to have a high goal. People that don't have big targets, giant, monster, exciting targets, don't stick to anything. And the reason why is because the goal doesn't have any sticky in it. You know, guys like, oh, I want to make 50 grand a year. Okay, well, that's good, dude, but there's not going to be any excitement in that goal. The reason why the guy that's trying to make 5 million a year is more excited than the guy trying to make 50,000 is because the payoff is bigger. You know, if you just look around at the facts, in the United States of America, the population of people that are under the most assault, that are being oppressed and suppressed the most, are the middle class. It's the people that are making that middle money. You know some people like this, dude.
Yes.
Like it's all over the place. My room was full of people. Like I'm like, look, you have to get out of this middle class. Your parents, my parents, wanted to be in the middle class. It is not the place to be anymore. The deal is to get out and above it. So when our ancestors came here, and the Italians and the Irish and all those people were coming here, they're like, I want to be in the middle class. Man, it was something to aspire to. Today, it's something to get away from because it's being pressed on, compressed. It's being so. I'm saying, look, the goal, the stickiness, the stick-to-itness, the excitement is in goals much higher.
Yeah. Kind of a wrap-up question here. You weren't necessarily successful on your first try or second, I'm assuming, right?
Oh no.
What changed? Was it something inside of way of looking at it?
Look,
what do you think?
What
do you think it was?
I have failed most of my life. I came up lower middle class. Life was a struggle. I watched how my parents had enough money to pay the bills, but only enough money to pay the bills and enough money to be terrified all the time. And I woke up one day, I'm like, I'm not going to live like this. I got to change the game. I got to come up with some other thing, some other way. It wasn't easy. It's never been easy. Dude, if it was easy, you probably wouldn't even be talking to me. You'd be talking to somebody else, right?
That's right.
So look, it's not going to be easy, but it's not easy the other way. That's the decision I made. I'm like, okay, It's not easy to be successful, but it's not easy to be unsuccessful. Both of them you got to pay a price for. You know, a guy says money won't make you happy. I'm like, poverty won't make you happy either. Right. And the reality is, I'm not looking for money for my success. I'm looking to fulfill my potential. I know my potential. You don't know it. She doesn't know it. My mom doesn't know it. Nobody knows what my potential is. It's me. It's a private little deal between me and God. Mm-hmm. And if I'm only fulfilling this much of it, and I know there's that's where that dissatisfaction is, and that's what I'm going for.